Just hours before Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel began his trip, it was still not clear whether a meeting with Afghan President Hamid Karzai was on the schedule. The U.S. administration and Mr. Karzai are at odds. The Afghan leader has been slow to finalize an agreement that would spell out the terms by which U.S. troops, as many as 12,000, could stay in the country to train, advise, and assist Afghan forces. U.S. officials had hoped Mr. Karzai would finalize the agreement shortly after the Loya Jirga, a gathering of elders, last month. On the eve of his trip, Hagel said the text is ready for the Afghan president to approve.
The Loya Jirga enthusiastically, strongly endorsed that text, that agreement, and strongly recommended to President Karzai to sign it. Every public official we've heard from in Afghanistan has strongly supported the signing of that agreement.
President Karzai wants to wait until after Afghan elections in April. That will not work, says defense analyst Anthony Cordesman at the Center for Strategic and International Studies.
These delays have already reached the point where originally we'd planned to have made these decisions in late 2012. Remember the lead times, the funding problems, getting congressional approval, staffing, not trying to do this under conditions which are impractical, in a rush, and expensive. And all of that basically is already a year late.
The U.S. says it will withdraw all of its troops if there is no agreement. Ahmad Majidyar, an Afghanistan analyst with the American Enterprise Institute, says other members of the Afghan government are worried.
They know that if the United States leave Afghanistan, other NATO allies will leave as well, and that will indeed be a repeat of the post-1989 when the Soviet Union collapsed and the world abandoned Afghanistan, and that led to a chaos in the region, that extremism took root. Civil war started, and finally that left a vacuum which was filled by the extremist group of the Taliban.
Another thorny issue for Hagel is neighboring Pakistan, whose behavior could complicate Afghanistan's future, whether the U.S. stays or goes. The U.S. is concerned about Pakistan's harboring of militants and the security of U.S. transit routes out of Afghanistan. One of them was closed recently following Pakistani protests over U.S. drone strikes. Luis Ramirez, VOA News, at the Pentagon.